Hello and welcome to another update on Ethereum. I'm here on the Ethereum short-term chart. Larger time frame hasn't changed. I captured that or covered that yesterday in the videos. Wanted to talk about the key levels, key pivots for today's market. Today, obviously, we've got some job data coming out. That could again have an impact on the Fed's interest rate decision later this month. So we want to take a look at the relevant micro resistance levels here and support levels that matter. But please note, I mean, if we zoom out a little bit, right, you see that the market hasn't really gone anywhere and it hasn't really done much in the last 3 weeks. We're still caught in a range here. And then even when we zoom in further, you see that especially this very local range is currently unfolding. And for the last week, the market has been caught just in this local range without any meaningful price action. We could continue to move in that range for a bit. Movements to the upside have been three-wave structures. Movements to the downside have been three-wave structures. I'm just not prepared to let's say to give here this further downside move a lot of or high probability. It is high probability, but it's overall quite balanced. You know, it's not like that I can say, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to go down further here, because it already has completed a three-wave move down technically, which could be the C wave of a triangle pattern. We don't need any further downside. And also this last move down from the Wednesday high is only a three-wave move. So guys, we're just moving in corrective structures. You have to be flexible in this range. Don't overtrade. Very, very dangerous. Yeah, a lot of people lose money in these ranges. I think I posted that yesterday on X, that these ranges, they kill people, right? It's let me see. And by the way, follow us here if you're interested in further updates, trading tips, and news and everything. Not sure if I can just find it, but you know, one of the posts I shared was not every move is a trade. Some patterns are noise, and I think on the Ethereum chart we're just dealing with that. Some setups are mid-range. We're dealing with that. We're in the middle of a range, guys. And some charts have no edge. And there is no edge at the moment on the shorter time frame for Ethereum. So that's why I said, you know, professionals skip them, amateurs force trades, and then call the market unfair. Guys, when we're dealing with a range, a lot of people talk about manipulation and everything. But actually, we're simply moving in a sideways range, yeah? Be careful with that. Be careful with that. Yeah, there were more posts I made about it. But the bottom line is, when we're in a range, it can really hurt people. Can't find the particular one I was watching for, but feel free to join us here and check out the different posts and trading tips and Elliott wave tips and mindset tips and charts. You can find a lot of other stuff there as well. But again, you see it. We are kind of moving mid-range. There isn't really a strong edge unless you really want to trade a 1-2 setup to the downside, where the wave 1 was a three-wave move. So be careful here. You see that actually this blue B wave is a three-wave move. Yeah, so that's why I have the blue count, which just kind of reinforces the idea of a triangle pattern that's unfolding. Quick reminder, the idea is we're dealing with a wave 4. That's the current idea. Anyway, and in this wave 4, we can either work on an A, B, C structure like this, yeah, or it's a triangle A, B, C, D, E. So there are other ways, but these are the two most, in my opinion, most likely scenarios that could play out here. That being said, probabilities in such a range are very, very dynamic. And because we're dealing just with sideways ranges here, yeah, the problem is that probabilities can shift easily and quickly, right? Just an example, when we're dealing with a B wave, for example, like this one, yeah, a B wave can take, I think, 10 different forms or so, or 12. So it's not about necessarily tracking every single wave label there. What we want to see now next is obviously the C wave to the upside, and as I said, I promised you the first key resistance. The first resistance that really matters here is the $4,442 level, 78.6 retracement. Break it, and then we will likely test here this micro resistance. I'm going to highlight it as a green signal line. That's at $4,500. That's just the next previous swing high, yeah, and could provide some resistance. And above that, we've got this zone to watch, 4,556 to $4,744. And I think it's quite probable we might get there. If we break out to the upside above the red resistance zone, it becomes more probable that we are targeting this blue zone. But please note, this is not about predicting every single wave. It's more about identifying tendencies. We're in a range and we have to have some patience, but hopefully these videos help you to deal with that patience a little better. But yeah, if anything changes, I will of course let you know. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, I invite you to join us on X for additional updates, chart updates, news, trading tips and mindset stuff and all sorts of things. As I said, check it out. Link is in the description and in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.